tobacco would be one. How many times have you thought about pipe tobacco with Cabernet Sauvignon? Probably not too many times, but you know what? My grandfather was a pipe smoker when I was a little kid, and I know what that aroma is like. Let me tell you, you swirl this around, and you can kind of smell some of that pipe tobacco. Or a little bit of wild. Do you guys ever know anything about Marion berries? You know, there's blackberries, blueberries, Marion berries. You know about those? Well, that's what you can smell and taste right here in this Cabernet Sauvignon. And if you're a baker, if you like to do pies, like my wife, she loves baking pies. So this happens to be the spices that are typically in pies. It's right in this Cabernet Sauvignon. So I know it's a red wine, and it's a big one. It's Cabernet Sauvignon. But you know what? If you had a good piece of cherry pie, I'm just suggesting, along with this Cabernet Sauvignon, you would say, oh my God, I never thought pie and red wine would ever go together. What do you think? Probably haven't tried it, but
no, it'd be fun.
Yeah,
great,
absolutely, absolutely. So the chef has taken the roast rack of lamb. He's taken a little pomegranate lamb jus, petite carrot, that's just a small baby carrot, fingerling potato, and a little roasted asparagus. Put it on a plate, and that pomegranate au jus. What do you think of that? Pomegranate lamb au jus. Isn't that pretty good? Makes that lamb just stand right out there. And make sure that you take a bite and also take a sip at the same time and find out how it pairs well together. I know you can eat the lamb by itself and you can drink the wine by itself, but when you match them together, that's what pairing is literally all about. Well, I don't know about you, but we've had such a great time here at Wines du Jour at Smith & Wollensky. As I said at the very beginning, this is one of our favorite places of all time to come to. And we're running pretty close to time. I was hoping the chef had time to come in and talk to us for a little bit. You got to meet Chef Piccolino. This is Mr. Golfer Jr. You know what I'm saying? Food comes first, but golf is right there, right behind it. And he takes all the extra time that he can possibly get to get out of the kitchen and do golf. I don't know if he does anything else. I don't think he goes to the movies. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he goes out to dinner. I think he cooks and plays golf. You know, I really think that's pretty much his life, other than his family, of course. I'm not denouncing that in any way, shape, or form. So that's pretty interesting. And he may or may not come in. One thing I wanted to ask you before we go, if you don't mind, Glenn, is tell us what's your favorite wine, if there is such a thing, at the winery. And my answer would probably be, what are we eating? And then I'd tell you. But let's just say, if you had to pick one bottle to take home and then fix a meal, what would you take home? Or better yet, what did you or will you take home?
Les, I'm sorry, I have to mimic you. It depends on what my wife is making for dinner or myself. I'm absolutely enamored with the idea of what works with the food. We make some great Zinfandel at Girard, some really nice Petite Syrah as well. We occasionally get the opportunity to bottle a little Cabernet Franc on its own.
Ooh,
so
okay.
It all depends on what's going on with dinner tonight.
Well, that's a good answer. Well, you know, Petite Syrah is one of my new favorite wines. If you find a good Petite Syrah, it's delicious with food, is it not?
I agree, yes.
Maybe more so than most anybody would even think about. I mean, you don't think of Petite Syrah as being something you want to take home, but if you do, it's just like Syrah. Now, don't confuse Syrah with Petite Syrah. They're two separate grapes. In fact, they are a member of the same family, but distant cousins, okay? They're not just about the same. That doesn't work out that way. So I have to tell you that we've had a great time here. Girard Wines from Napa. They do have a wine club. You can go to, what's the web address?
GirardWinery.com.
And that's Girard, GirardWinery.com. Pretty easy. They've got a great wine club if you'd like to be part of that. I want to thank you for listening to Wines du Jour, America's #1 syndicated wine radio show. We're here each week at this very same time. And if you've enjoyed tonight's program, tell all your friends to go to my Facebook, go to my Twitter, or go to my website at leskincaid.com. Pretty easy. Thanks to Smith & Wollensky for all their help and the great food and service. Glenn Hugo, coming all the way from Gerard Winery in Napa Valley, bringing us 3 wines. I have to tell you, it's outstanding. My broadcast engineer, Jeremy Knight, Carl Manjo, and the Asian TV and High Definition for making television in Las Vegas on Cox Cable, DirecTV, don't forget that, DirecTV starting the 10th, along with Asia. We're all over Asia, from China to India, and there's a lot of countries in between, Philippines, Vietnam, Korea, Japan, and so on. We're there 3 times a day for 7 days in a row with this show, believe it or not. Thanks for choosing and listening to Wines du Jour from the left coast, from the east coast, and all around the world on the radio and on television. From Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm Les Kincaid. Good night, everybody.